Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of Rave Culture Podcast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I'm your host, Emma Kapotes. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. We are gonna fucking laugh in this episode, so I hope you guys are ready. If you're driving in a car, if you're on your commute right now, wherever you're listening, I hope you're not easily embarrassed because you're gonna be laughing your ass off in this episode. So thank you guys so much for checking out the podcast, whether you just joined us this week or you've been listening for a while. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm so excited to kick this one off. Quick shout outs and thank yous as per usual, you guys, you know the drill at this point. Thank you all so much for spreading the word on the podcast, for rating and reviewing on iTunes. I see all of you. If you didn't know, you can, rate a few stars or write a comment if you want, and that really, really helps. I appreciate it. That, helps other people discover the podcast, and, word of mouth is honestly the best way to spread this, especially in our community. Like in the EDM community, I feel like a lot of people learn about new music or hear about shows through their friends or, online on different groups. So please, share the podcast. I would absolutely love it if you would do that. Send a link to somebody today, or, best case scenario, screenshot and share your screen and tag us on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Twitter. The podcast account is at raveculturecast, and my personal account is at Emma Kapotes. That's EMMAKAPOTES on Instagram and on Twitter. So thank you all so much for doing that. I just have a couple quick announcements here and just a few life updates, and then we'll hop right into this topic because I got some really awesome submissions. I think I only read through 2 of your emails. The rest are going to be a surprise, so we'll see how that goes. But if you couldn't already tell by the title of this podcast, today is going to be all of your most embarrassing rave stories or music festival stories. Thank you all for being very vulnerable and sharing these moments with us. I am personally going to be sharing some of my most embarrassing moments, and to be honest with you, I swear this isn't a cop-out. I asked my friends, I was like, guys, what were our most embarrassing moments? I can't think of any. And there's a couple. I feel like I didn't have any, knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood right now because I'm jinxing myself. I haven't had any that are mortifying yet. Why am I saying this? I feel like I'm jinxing myself so badly right now. But I have had some mishaps and funny moments happen, so I'm gonna be sharing mine as well. We're all in this together. I hope you all know at this point that I'm going to be honest with you 100% of the time. So if you're going down, I'm going down on the ship. We got to go down together. So I'm really excited to get into your stories. But before we kick that off, I have a very tight turnaround time right now. We'll see if I can get this whole episode in. It might be a shorter one. I'm actually about to head out to go see a show tonight. I am catching Dylan Francis in Brooklyn. He is playing his tour, and I think Nina Las Vegas is opening for him, and I've never seen her live, so I'm so excited about that. And this is at Avant-Gardner. It's my favorite venue / location in Brooklyn. I was just there last week for Don Diablo, so it's gonna be a good time. I also just filmed a Get Ready With Me video, so you guys, if you are watching on YouTube, you already know, but I have a YouTube channel. It's just under my name, Emma Kapotes. You guys can go check that out, and then it might be up before this or after this, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can get ready with me, watch me do my makeup and hang out. So, feel free to go subscribe over there if you haven't already. It's just an extension of this podcast. It's EDM vlogs, it's Raver videos, it's musical. I can't talk to guys. Oh my God, I literally cannot talk today, you guys. I haven't even started drinking yet. I'm just so hype and energetic right now for the show tonight. But anyway, what was I saying? Music festival tips and advice. There we go. I'm gonna learn how to enunciate now that I have a podcast. But anyway, you guys, so that's what's going on tonight. I'm super excited. I have a really good group, and I'm usually very active on Snapchat. So if you guys ever want to follow along with me for shows, the night of, I will be posting on Snap. And then the day after, I usually upload everything to Instagram. So just throwing that out there. If you want to be in the loop and see everything as it's happening, check out my Snapchat. What else do we got today? Okay, so some announcements. At this point, by the time this podcast comes out, the giveaway that I was doing ended. It was my first major giveaway, and it was 3 different rave packages for 3 random winners. So thank you guys so much to anyone who entered that. I will definitely be doing more giveaways in the future. Really, really rewarding to give something back to you guys and make somebody smile or make somebody's day. And I was really, really grateful that some of the brands that I work with wanted to be a part of that and donated things. So thank you guys so much if you entered over there. A lot of really fun, exciting stuff coming up on my YouTube channel, so get pumped about that. One other totally random announcement, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. I downloaded TikTok. I feel like this is an app for like younger kids, but either way, I'm on TikTok now. If you didn't know what that is, it's literally like a video platform. It's like Vine, but a little bit longer videos. It used to be something that it used to be called Musical.ly, and it was like kids just doing dances and like lip syncing. I don't know, it was super fucking weird, but it took a turn and now has been kind of like blowing up completely, and it's way more like Vine. Like, it's funny videos, it's food, it's everything. It's not just music anymore. So I downloaded that because I figured what other better platform than TikTok, because I have so many videos just on my phone that I don't upload to Instagram. They don't make it into my vlogs. And so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna upload all of my extra videos to TikTok. So like all of the footage I take tonight at Dylan Francis's set, I'm not doing a vlog on YouTube. It's just whatever I post to Snapchat, and Snapchat obviously disappears. So I'm gonna upload all of my clips from shows, from festivals, from whatever to TikTok. So you guys can go follow me there if you want, and you'll just get some like extra footage and all that fun stuff. So I'm excited about that. We'll try out a new platform. All right, lastly here, I announced this last week, but we're gonna be doing a new segment on the podcast that I'm so excited about. It's called Listener of the Week. And basically what I wanna do every week is highlight one of the listeners, you guys who are the fucking best, who support this podcast. I want to shout you guys out, either one or more. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. So please nominate somebody that you know that listens to the podcast that has done something positive either for you or for their community or for like the EDM community, and send me an email with the subject headline Listener of the Week and their name, and just tell me like why they deserve a shout out. What have they done? I really just want to continue to spread positive vibes and highlight people that are doing really good things. And I want to highlight you guys being the listeners. Like, I want to call you out more, and I think it would be really awesome just to shout you out on here. So yeah, please send in your nominations for people, and then I will be doing one a week. And yeah, I can't wait to talk about you guys more because I love you so much. So anyway, I'm really excited about that segment. So yeah, email me. It's raveculturecast@gmail.com, raveculturecast@gmail.com, and I will be looking for your submissions for that. All right, you guys ready? Let's just get into this, and then stick around for the end of the episode. We'll do some EDM news, and I have some hot takes on some topics this week. So get pumped for that. I'm pumped. Can you feel my energy right now? Anyway, okay, so how this topic came about. I really have enjoyed sharing your stories on the podcast lately. It's been a lot of fun reading your like real stories and your submissions. So I was like, I think I want to do an episode where we're just like cracking up laughing. Like, I would absolutely love to do that. What better than to talk about our embarrassing stories? I mean, usually when you attend events or music festivals that are multiple days, there's bound to be some incidents of things that happen that are like pretty embarrassing. So, you know, that's what this podcast episode is all about today. So we're going to start off with mine. I have a list here. Again, I feel like these aren't that bad. So I'm just saying that I've been pretty lucky, but I've had my moments. So these are some of them. So I've mentioned this one before, but there was that one time at EDC Las Vegas, it was 2017, I want to say, where we went out to a pool party, and I got like a little too turnt at the pool party because, you know, it's like 100 degrees during the day, and your girl drank a lot, and then I ended up getting a little bit sick, and then we had like an hour maybe to get ready, do hair or makeup outfit, and we got on the shuttles, and that was the year of like the shuttles nightmare at EDC. It was like the worst case scenario, and I was like dying of heat on the bus because I was wearing this like 3/4 sleeve bodysuit, and I get to the festival and I look down and the fucking thing is on backwards. Like, the shit is on backwards. Super embarrassing. My tag was like in my face, and like it wasn't the type of bodysuit that you could really tell, but I was like, you fucking idiot. And then the worst part is I had to go into a porta potty, like, and it's a bodysuit, it's a one piece. I had to take the whole fucking thing off, so I'm like standing there naked in a porta potty. Like, porta potties are not the best place in the world to be, as you all know. So then I had to like swap that around. So that was just like a little wardrobe malfunction moment, which was really fun. what else do we have? I've also like walked in on so many people in Porta-Potties, so that's really like their embarrassing moment, not mine. But question, why do guys not lock the doors in Porta-Potties? Because I almost never walk in on a girl, it's always a guy. I had to talk about that, like, dudes, lock the fucking Porta-Potty if you don't want to be walked in on, or maybe you do, I don't know. But yeah, I've always had those moments where I'm like, and I fucking walk into the Porta-Potty and some dude's peeing. So that's always a good old time. The other one, it's a famous venue in New York City. It's called Webster Hall. It closed down for about a year and then it just reopened again, and it's like multiple floors. I had only been there once, shockingly, and it was for Jonas Blue and EDX. It was a really good show, actually. So I went with some of my friends, and we go to this venue, and we're like, we get online, and there's all these people dressed like wizards, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, all like Harry Potter wizards and stuff, and we're like, actually, WTF, this is very confusing. So we go inside, and again, we had never been to this venue, and we're walking around, and like the coat check was all the way downstairs, so you had to like walk the different levels. And we like wander into this room, and it's just fucking all these people dressed as wizards, and we're like, where the fuck are we? Like, kind of cracking up, but also like, are we in the wrong place? Like, something is happening. And it was so weird. It was so weird. Not that I don't like wizards, like I like Harry Potter and everything, but it was like people were really, really into it. And then we see like I think we saw a poster on the wall or something like that, or it was like a sign, and it was said like it was a wizarding night at Webster Hall, and we were like, oh my god, what did we just get ourselves into? And it was just hysterical because there's all these rooms and everything. So we were walking around for a while. Oh, and then I remember this guy who we got into the elevator, and like somebody bumped into him, and he was like, oh, that was my wand, don't worry, or something. I have no idea. I don't know if these are embarrassing, sorry, mine are more just like funny stories. But anyway, so it turned out that the upstairs like main ballroom was the show, and then the other floors were the wizarding night of Webster Hall. So good times. Haven't been back since, but it was interesting. You could kind of get a taste of everything if you really wanted to. The show itself though was actually really fun. Okay, this one like pains me to say because I'm just like embarrassed as a person who tries to coach you guys through life. My friend Diane and I did this like cruise around the Hudson, or like whatever, cruise around New York City, and it was an Anjuna Deep show. So it was all artists like on the Anjuna label, and it was really cool because that's not like, normally I like Anjuna beats more. They're a little bit more housey, or like even trance, versus deep house, which is a little bit more chill. But anyway, so it was really good. I forget it was Latrell Yato was another artist, but anyway, it was a really good lineup. I'm actually really happy I went. So anyway, we get on the boat, right, and it's like a during the day kind of show, and it had multiple levels. So we get on, and Diane and I go to like the second floor, and they had like a couple bars and stuff. I'm trying to remember if they had food, I don't know, but either way, you're on the second floor and you look over the balcony, and down on the bottom floor was like this massive dance floor. So it was like a multi-level thing, and we were like, oh, that's so cool. And there was like a stage on the dance floor, and like no one was down there at all, and it didn't seem like there were that many people there, and we were just so confused. We like heard music faintly happening, but just like had no idea what was really going on. So she and I had like a drink, and like time had passed. Like I want to say we were hanging for like 35 or 40 minutes. Like it was a significant amount of time, and we were just sitting at this table. What the fuck? Like, are the openers on? Like, we just had no idea what was happening, and we were like, maybe like the main DJs played downstairs like later. So confused. So we decided to just get up and explore because it just felt like something was off, and then we realized there's a roof. So we we walk up the stairs, and we go upstairs. The fucking stage was on the roof, and we literally missed the first act. The entire show and everyone on the boat was on the roof except for us dumbass bitches. So we were like mortified. We were like, what idiots are we? Like the whole show, I'm so embarrassed to say that. We didn't even realize, we didn't even think like, oh, we're just like, oh, there's music faintly playing in the background, like fucking morons. Yeah, because the show is happening upstairs. So at that point we realized like what was going on. People were just coming down to the floor we were on just to go to the bar, but literally everybody was on the roof having a good time. So after that, it was a really magical day because you had a beautiful view of Manhattan, and it was like a cruise around the city. So it ended up being really fun, but Diana and I were like mortified that we were too dumb to notice that they were on the roof the whole time, but it's fine. Okay, this last story is mortifying, and I was debating if I was gonna say this or not, but here goes nothing. So it's like not even that bad, but whatever. So, okay, where do I begin? I'm stalling right now. Okay, so in one of the EDCs, back in the day, a couple years ago, I had dabbled with some substances, and with certain substances, they say that it can upset your stomach, if you catch my drift. So anyway, whatever, I started feeling like really good, and things were happening to me, and I looked at my Little, and I was like, Little, and I just mouthed to her because we were with people. I can't believe I'm saying this. And I look at her, and I had like, my eyes were like bugging out of my head, and I was like, Little, I just mouthed to her. I was like, Little, I'm going to fucking shit my pants. I'm not gonna get through this story. Oh my god, I have to keep stopping it to laugh. But yeah, like I was convinced I was gonna poop my pants. Like, I'm not kidding. I looked at her and I was like, Little, like I'm not gonna make it to the porta potty. Like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna run down my leg. I'm gonna die. And she was like dying laughing. She's like, you're fine, you're fine. You just stop thinking about it. I was like, Little, I'm gonna shit my pants. I just kept saying it over and over again, like trying to make sure the guys weren't noticing, because I was just so mortified, because this was like, I think one of the first times I had like ever done anything like that. And she just was looking at me. I'm like, I have tears in my eyes, because every time we talk about it, I just always look at her and I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants. But I like, okay, spoiler alert, nothing happened. I ended up being completely fine. But I just remember being at main stage at EDC, like looking at the porta potties, being like, if I just make, I said to her, I was like, if I just make a run for it now, like I might be okay. And she's like, no, you're gonna be fine. Like, relax, just sit down. And like in my head, like if you guys have ever experienced this before, it's like a thing. You'll know what I'm talking about. They say like when the molly hits and you have to shit. That's like a saying. But anyway, it didn't happen, but I was like totally mortified, and we still laugh about it to this day, because it just was like such a moment. So yeah, you know, haven't really like had that moment since then, but it was a good time. I learned my lesson. But anyway, I'm glad that I just told the entire world that, so that's fun that I'm including this. This is how much I love you guys, because I'm gonna share my whole damn life, and I'm not gonna hold it back, because this happens to the best of us. So I hope one of you can relate to that story. And that's the end of my embarrassing stories. I'm gonna go jump off a bridge now. Bye. All right, guys, are you ready for your embarrassing rave stories? Because I sure am. I just read through the first entry and I'm fucking shook. So this is gonna be a wild ride. I should have said in the beginning of the episode that this is not suitable for work kind of episode. We're talking about some sensitive topics, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna keep most of these anonymous unless somebody tells me to say their name, but this is first one's up. It's a good one. It says, so okay, around 2012-ish, when I was just getting into the scene, I was going to shows left and right, and finally went to a Borgor show. Won a meet and greet at a venue that's associated with being a hot mess and bringing even more hot messes. Tends to be a wild time. So Borgar's clearly lit and we're all drinking with him. It's a great time. Then the show starts. As always, he's a riot and throws down heavy. So during the end of the show, they invite people on stage to dance around him, guys and girls, and surprisingly, no one tipped over the CDJs. Fast forward to the end of the show, I get invited to his hotel after party with about 10 other people, and it's a fun ass time until this one chick turns over to me and says, "Wanna see a magic trick?" And before I can even say anything, because magic tricks are straight fire when you're litty as a kitty, this chick whips out her right titty and squirts me right in the mouth with titty milk. What the fuck? Like, props to her for having some of the best aim in the game, but I was shook. And before I can even react, she does the same shit to Borgor, but was down. Dude took a straight up shot of her titty juice like a champ and chased it with the shot. And that's when I knew the EDM scene was fucking weird, fam. God. Oh, and he just said this is actually super relevant because something similar happened during the Dirty Bird camp out this month. Jesus, people are getting weird. That's so funny. I should have, okay, one, I don't know if I should have said the DJ's name in this. I might have, but whatever, it's done. And this was literally 7 years ago at this point. Okay, I guess I'll talk about it now because I literally was going to talk about this at the end of the episode, but I'm going to say it really quickly because it's relevant to this. So in my EDM news / my hot takes, this is a new segment when I want to go on rants. I'm going to call them hot takes. So I don't know if anybody heard about this or saw this viral video that went around that came out of Dirty Bird Campout this past weekend. There was basically a video of a woman, it was on Twitter that I saw it, who is doing this like dance in the crowd. It's during the day. And then all of a sudden she has a bodysuit on. She just like pulls her breasts out to the side of the bodysuit and starts squirting her tits, and milk is just shooting out of them into the crowd. I think it got on people. I have so many thoughts, and again, like, you guys, totally open to discussion. I think people will have differing opinions on this, and that's completely okay. In my personal opinion, I just like couldn't believe it. One, that's not what I thought was gonna happen. When I was watching this video, I was like, oh my god. And people were saying like the EDM community is fucking weird, like people got weird at Dirty Bird, but I think that that's crossing a line. And some people might disagree with me, but like I saw that and I was kind of grossed out by it. Like I just think it's really inappropriate. And I don't know, I just think it crosses the line. And again, self-expression, you guys, like if you want to have your titties out, if you want to wear like gemstones on you, if you want to walk around in a thong, like whatever you want to do. But when you're starting to like spray your breast milk at people, I just like don't know why that's necessary, and I just think it's inappropriate. And I also think it's inappropriate to film someone doing it and then post it online. Like we've talked about this before. I think the word R in plur is respect. Like respect the people around you, and maybe don't film them when things like that are happening. Or maybe she wanted to be filmed. I have no fucking idea. Maybe she thought it was like funny, but it bothered me. I did not like it. I don't think it's funny, and I don't know, I just thought it was kind of fucking gross. So I'm just really curious what you guys think. Like, are you like, no, it's funny, it didn't bother me at all? Do you think that's crossing a line? I just think it brings up like a really good topic, because people are getting fucking weird out there. And same goes for a video that went viral, I think over the summer. There was somebody boofing at, oh fuck, I can't remember the festival. I forget where it was, but there was literally a girl boofing, which is when you stick like drugs or alcohol up your ass to get like fucked up quicker. And that I actually was surprised. A lot of people really did not like the video and were really upset about it. And like, again, I completely agree. It's just a combination of like, I don't agree with filming it and posting it online. Like, I just think it's inappropriate. At the same time, like, does no one have any decency anymore? Like, I mean, I would never, ever, ever do that. But just like to be out in the open doing that, I don't know. I could be like old school, but I just thought that was a little classless. I did not like that at all. I don't know. I think we're crossing a line here, people. I think there's some things, some lines are getting blurred. But again, 1000%, my opinion is not fact. It's my opinion, and that's what I'm entitled to, and I think people can totally disagree with me, and that's okay. That's the beautiful thing, guys. But anyway, I just had to throw that in there because that was my hot takes for this week. I just think people are getting a little wild at these festivals. All right, back into your embarrassing rave stories. Let's see what the next one is. Okay, this is a little bit longer. Like I said, I didn't pre-screen any of these, so we'll get into this. Okay, it says, here's the story. I work at a biotech company in Boston, and every year we have a holiday party. It just so happened that this past year, the party was held at a club called The Grand. The club hosts big DJs like Alesso, Chainsmokers, but it's on the more formal side, like heavy bottle service, VIP, etc. The holiday party was on a Friday from 6 to 10 p.m., and at 10, it opened to the public as a club. I checked out the schedule, and Sultan and Shepard were playing there that night. I then found out from the person who coordinated the events for our company that if we wanted to stay at the club after the holiday party ended, we didn't have to pay for tickets to the show. Usually clubs like this I find incredibly pretentious and not my scene, but since it was free, I thought, okay, let's do it. So my boyfriend and I show up to this holiday party in formal clothes, but we were low-key ready to rave. Love it. So the holiday party was pretty chill, but there was an open bar, so of course we're taking advantage. Fast forward to about 9:45 and the club is opening in like 15 minutes, which means open bar also ends. So my boyfriend and I decided to get 2 drinks because then we would be set for the night. So club opens, opener comes on. We had been dancing for 5 minutes when a security guard comes up to us and says, "You two need to come with me." And so we walk with him, and all of a sudden we're in an elevator because the club was on the top floor of the building, and I ask him, why are we here? And at that same moment, an executive from my company steps into the elevator. The security tells me and my boyfriend that we're way too drunk, we had to leave. This just wasn't the case. We weren't too drunk, but they probably saw us each with 2 drinks in our hand and thought, oh, they're gonna chug these and get too drunk. Normally I would have tried to talk my way out of it, but since there was an executive in the elevator, I didn't want to. The whole time she didn't say a word, and she just gave us the dirtiest look ever. It was so embarrassing because at this time I had only worked at the company for a few months, so it was not a good look for me. I was legit mortified. All weekend I was so worried to come to work on Monday because I thought I was gonna get in trouble for literally getting kicked out of the company function. So I show up to work on Monday super nervous, as I'm walking in to see the executive. She literally gives me another super dirty look similar to the one she gave me in the elevator, and every time since then she's given me the same look. Luckily she isn't my direct boss, and I never did hear again about that night, but it was by far my most embarrassing rave story. Luckily though, after we got kicked out, we went to our favorite gay club and the DJ there was on fire that night, so it all worked out in the end. That's so awesome. Well, not awesome, but thank you for sharing and submitting your story. That sucks. It's never a good time when you get kicked out and you're like actually not doing anything wrong. I feel like that's so not fair, but yeah, I think if I walked into an elevator and saw like the executive of my company and I was being kicked out, mortified. I would be mortified as well. So I'm so sorry that that happened to you, but at least you know at the end of the day you weren't doing anything wrong. Okay, the next submission here says, hi Emma and Rave Culture podcast fam. This is the first time I'm catching your Insta story for submissions to your podcast. Yay. Yay, girl. Oh, I just ruined it. It's a girl, sorry. My embarrassing moment was a few years back at my bigger festival. I didn't really know that many artists very well to recognize their music on stage. I did kind of know Vinny Vici and really wanted to see them. So I went up to main stage the time they were supposed to come on, and I was partying so hard thinking I was finally seeing them. Then someone asked me who was on and I said, Vinny Vici. A few minutes later the person just said, but that's not Vinny Vici. It turns out the schedule had been changed and I didn't catch it. I was so embarrassed about outing myself as a newbie, so obviously, oopsies. Haha, I didn't see Vinny Vici for real though. I did see Vinny Vici for real though later that night. Sending much love to Emma and the Rave Culture podcast listeners from a fellow German raver. That's awesome. Thank you so much for submitting your story. You actually just reminded me, you're not alone. So many people have done that, so don't worry. And sometimes schedules can be off, and imagine they were off a little bit, so you honestly just never know. So you're in good company. You did just remind me though of an embarrassing story. So I think I told this in my EDC vlog. Oh god. So at EDC Vegas this year, I'm usually like the one who like has the map, I'm the map, and I'm usually like the one who has like the schedule because I'm the rave mom, and like literally like Brady and Eric and Tara are just like, Emma, what's next? And then I guide them, and I'm usually right almost all of the time. So this night in particular, it was Saturday night. That was like the coldest night. It was so fucking windy, like it was really bad. And we wanted to go see our first art car set. So we were gonna go see IO back-to-back No Mana on the Parliament art car, which is the one that looks like an owl. And so we leave, I forget what set we were at, but we leave the set and there are 3 art cars and like I hadn't really figured them out yet. So I take them to the art car that I think is the IO back-to-back No Mana art car. And it was kind of like all the way in the back. And we get there and it's like wide open space. So it's freezing because there's no like structures blocking it. And there's like no one there. There was like 15 people. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is the art car. Like he's on, they're on. Oh my God, this is so cool. So we're dancing around like fucking idiots. We might have been a little bit too lit, which is fine. That's okay. And we're having like the best fucking time. And people were walking up to us and they're like, who's on this art car? And I'm like, IO. And they're like, oh, okay, this is IO. I'm like, yeah. And enough time went by that we were like, this can't be right because no one is fucking here. And I look at my map and we were at the Mayan art car. It was an IO. I was like mortified. I looked, we were there for 35 minutes, guys. Like we literally thought we were at IO's set. That's how fucked up we were. It was so fucking funny. And then I look at them and I'm like, guys, wrong set, my bad. We're not in the right location, like nearly close. So we were all dying laughing, and then we ended up getting to IO within the last 5 minutes and we like snuck onto the art car. But yeah, you just reminded me, Caroline, about that story. So you are not the only one who has done that before, by far. All right, guys, are you ready for the next entry here? Here we go. It's a voice memo. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Hi, Emma. So this is my embarrassing story. This happened this last year. So 2019, day 2, Saturday night. I ended up pre-gaming a little too hard, got there late, which I was so pissed about because I missed your meetup, and now I know you're not going next year.
Aww.
I'm even more pissed. Damn it. On the way there, I had to pee so freaking bad. And you know, if you're getting in past like what 9 p.m., freaking the lines to get in are ridiculous. I think this was probably around, I don't know, 10:30, 11 p.m. So we were stuck in traffic, and I was almost, I swear, in tears. I had to pee so freaking bad. Came up and we saw a freaking porta potty. I'm like, oh my gosh, my answers are the prayers have been answered. I can pee. Get out. Ask them, can I please use this porta potty? And they say, no, I can't use it because it's for security only or something like that. So I literally pleaded to them, if I don't use this porta potty, I will pee my freaking pants. They did not care. They said, nope, sorry, you can't. So I'm sitting there contemplating like, do I risk getting kicked out of this festival and just rushing them? Or do I just, I don't know, pee my pants? I guess that's what's happening. I don't know. So I, think right. Yeah, I'm not going to freaking risk getting kicked out. So fine.
Oh my God.
Go back to the car. I swear I could not handle this anymore. And we did end up having like a water bottle in the back. It was one of those really good, nice water bottles that we have that has like a really big, mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. So I was like, that's it. This is what's happening. Gotta pee in the bottle because I cannot wait another minute. So that's what I did. I had to pee in the freaking bottle. Mm-hmm. Definitely got a lot of looks, from the cars passing us and surrounding us, whatever. It was so freaking embarrassing, but so freaking worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
I will never pregame like that again, because if you can't freaking pee, I saw people, jumping over, like, there's like hills and things people hide under. Mm-hmm. I saw people doing that, but I don't know, I didn't have the balls to do that. Glad I had the water bottle. Saved my life. But yes, Emma, that's my embarrassing story.
That was so awesome. Oh my God, thank you for sharing that. I don't mean awesome, guys. I keep saying awesome. Okay, literally everybody has been in that exact same position. I've done that so many times where like, you're like, why did I do this to myself? I do this almost every time I go to Brooklyn. We like drink at the pregame, and by the time we Uber, I feel like I'm in physical pain. I'm gonna pee my pants, and like nothing is worse than that feeling. Everybody knows, and it's so much easier for a guy to go to the bathroom. So we've all been there. I feel for you. I love that one. Okay. Ooh, this one's called Cringe Stories. I'm very excited about this. Okay, this one says, pretext. Before Lost Lands Day 3, I was comfortably relaxing in my hotel room with some friends. They had the TV on a show I'd never watched before called South Park. Damn, son. Oh my God. On this particular episode, there is a towel character who insults his human friend by saying, "You're a towel," before leaving him. Yes, a towel. For the remainder of the episode, the human goes around the city screaming at strangers, "Call me a towel." Evening at Lost Lands has now arrived. I did a big no-no and took 2 Molly whilst in the early stages of drunkenness. Ooh, no. Rookies. Don't make that mistake. Do not take 2. 2 is insane. I can't believe you took 2. That's so fucking bad. Don't do that. What did I do? Naturally, I ran away from my friends, and as they chased me throughout the festival, I shouted into the face of strangers for them to call me a towel. Why? So random, so tragic. That is fucking amazing. You guys, he attached a photo of his picture at Lost Lands, and he put the South Park towel over the photo. That is so good. I fucking love that. Thank you. That just made my whole day, you guys. I like had a feeling I knew where that was going, but oh my God, that was amazing. Okay, the next one up says, "Hey Emma, this is kind of going to be all over the place since I don't actually remember it all. My friends had to tell me. It involves drugs, but in no way am I glorifying the use of them. With that being said, this past forest, I wanted to get a little bit more adventurous with drugs. I did shrooms on day 2. Fantastic feeling. I felt like I was floating in the air with the light visuals. Seeing Said the Sky on shrooms was a religious experience. Seriously, it was amazing. The next day, I apparently got overzealous and decided to do about 2.5 grams of shrooms. The day prior, I did 1 gram. Oh boy. I've never done shrooms, guys, so I don't know what this means, but that does not sound good. I ate them in a way where it hit me fast and hard. It was around 6 p.m. when it started to go south. I was hearing everything normally, but people moved in slow motion, and it was like my eyes were moving and perceiving things in slow motion. Super freaky. People who went to Forest this year know that they had hot air balloons that would rise over Ranch Arena a little bit before sunset. Today they had a hot air balloon shaped like a dog, and I freaked out. I was standing with a Rave fam member, and I go, Ashley, I need to go to medical now. So she runs me over to med, and we leave the people we were with to go over there. I started sobbing and having an anxiety attack and could hardly tell the worker what was going on. I cried for over an hour, asked this poor worker if I was going to die at least 10 times. Nobody can console me, so they gave me a shot of Ativan sedative. It can treat seizure disorders such as epilepsy. It can also be used before surgery and medical procedures to relieve anxiety. I looked it up on Google. I slam a bottle of water and I pass out. I woke up and the med taxi was there to take me back to camp. This was around 9 p.m. I got dropped off and passed out until 1 a.m. when people started coming back. I heard people say, hey, I heard what happened to Corey. Is she okay? And I yelled from my tent out of a dead sleep, yeah, I'm okay. Just took too many shrooms, and went back to sleep. The next morning, everyone was like, yo, how was it? Me, good. After they gave me a sedative and drove me back to camp and I slept, I still had visuals when I woke up in the middle of the night. I cringe looking back at this because I am always the person who knows their limits, but I got a bit overzealous with my dose. Now I know, but I got freaked out so bad I don't do drugs at all anymore besides weed. Have a good day. Wow. First off, I'm glad you're okay. That sounds terrifying. That is also why psychedelics scare the shit out of me. And I know a lot of people love them and like have really, really great experiences. Obviously, like you probably took too much, but like the feeling of being out of control like that, I just know it's not for me. And exactly like what happened to you, like I can't imagine being with medic, and they're used to it. Like they're so prepared for this to happen. But like there goes your entire night at Electric Forest of all places, like your whole night ruined. So that totally sucks. I'm really sorry that happened to you, but I'm glad that you were okay. Okay, here's another embarrassing rape story. It says, hi Emma, I love the podcast. Thank you. My embarrassing stories have to do with the Porta-Potties. Of course it does, because it always does. It was hard summer 2018 and I went to the bathroom, and after I came out, I didn't realize I had a bunch of toilet seats covers stuck to the back on my shorts. Oh no. Since it was so hot and I was all sweaty, this nice girl was like, let me help you out. And I was so confused until I saw her take out all of the paper from my back and my shorts. I was so grateful that she helped me out, and I think about this every now and then on how embarrassing it would have been if it stuck to me the whole night while I was dancing my ass off. Also, this past EDC Las Vegas, I was getting myself ready to use a porta potty since I had so much stuff to carry and was adjusting my outfit so I can sit down. And when I was ready to sit, someone opened the door on me. It was funny because we both look at each other and I was just awkwardly standing there, and not only did this happen once, but twice, and the third time I remembered to lock the door. I would have been more embarrassed if I was sitting down in the toilet, but every now and then I think about this and laugh. That's from Otilia. I'm just loving these stories. Thank you so much for sharing these, but it always happens at the porta potty. I already talked about it with walking in on people. That's fucking crazy. Oh my god. I'm glad that nice civilian helped you though. You gotta look out for each other. All right, here's another one. Being a guy that is not into arts and crafts, I still decided to make candy for my first EDC. I did it with no prior knowledge, help, or YouTube videos. I got beads and letters from Amazon, and it came with its own stretchy cord or string, whatever it's called. I made the sickest candy in my opinion. Each had the name of different stages, one for kinetic, one for circuit grounds, wasteland, etc. It was my goal to experience a set in each stage and trade the appropriate candy for the stage. Love it. The time finally came. I went to kinetic first, like your usual newbie, and was ready to trade my first piece. Fortunately, it was a dude who asked me first, but happened to have giant hands. Oh no, I know where this is going. We did the plur ritual, and as soon as I was trading my piece, the cord just didn't break, it exploded. All the beads flew everywhere in a dramatic fashion. I saw his cringe face, but the dude still gave me his candy. Next, I went to base pod, thought it was because it was the dude, and I decided to trade with this petite girl. I was trading my piece when the same thing happened. Again, the beads didn't just fall, they exploded. Flew north, south, east, and west. Being persistent, I did it 2 more times with the same results. I'm so sorry for you. I'm like crying. Their ooh and ouch faces were funny, but it was embarrassing. And being a plur community, we all had to laugh, hug, and dance the night away. I'll just let females make my candy like usual. William, one of your many fans. William, thank you so much for sharing that. It was just the string you used. So my trick with candy, because I've had some explode on me. By the way, the visual way you described everything was like so on point. I use a thinner string. The thicker ones seemed to pop open on me more often, so I use a thinner string and I hot glue gun where the knot is. So usually when there's a knot and there's two beads like touching, I hot glue gun right in between them, and like, knock on wood, that has worked for me. So definitely utilize a hot glue gun, but I feel for you. You tried. You're a trooper for trying. Hey guys, for those of you who are watching at home, this is a little behind the scenes secret just for you YouTube watchers. I'm filming part 2 of this podcast a day later, so that's why I'm dressed differently and my makeup has changed, but the people listening to the audio won't know. But anyway, I'm letting you on that secret just so you're not wondering why all of a sudden I look different. It's the next day that I'm recording. Anyway, so let's get back into the episode. Alrighty, the next story up here, it says, embarrassing rave story. I was at Mad Decent Black Party years ago, RIP, one of the best festivals, wish they still toured. I was pretty drunk, walked out of the porta-potty, and started to walk back to my boyfriend and group. This group of guys started yelling to me. I had toilet paper on my butt still. Aw. It was Arizona, hot outside, and I was barely wearing any clothes. The guys helped me get it off before I got to my group. It was super embarrassing, but thank God for those guys who told me about it before I danced around the festival wearing toilet paper. Aw. Guys, see, there are some really good civilians out there who are looking out for each other. So definitely be that person. If someone has something in their teeth, they got toilet paper stuck to their shoe or their butt. Actually, I did that at Izu. Somebody came out of the Porta-Potties and this guy literally had this long ass like string of toilet paper just hanging like around his feet. And I was like, sir, and I like stopped and held it down and, you know, got that off of him. So yeah, definitely look out for each other, you guys. Okay, here is the next one. It says, hi Emma, my name is Joseph and I've been a huge fan of your YouTube and social media for almost 2 years now. Hell yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me. Okay, he says, my Rave fam and I went to EDC in 2018 for the first time, and we started planning around this time in 2017 and found your channel, thankfully. Ooh, needless to say, we were fully prepared and we'll be going to EDC for the 3rd time in 2020. Hell yeah, that's so exciting. Anyways, my story happened at EDC 2018 that I literally still died just thinking about. I was at Kinetic Field seeing Kygo, I think, waiting for my friend, and this guy started dancing in front of me. It clearly seemed to me that at the time he was trying to dance with me, which I don't mind at all since I'm super gay. Anyways, he kept getting closer and closer to me, so once again I thought he was trying to dance, and I grabbed his waist and he turned around to kiss me and thought I was his boyfriend. He stopped himself from kissing me, but I went in for it anyways because I didn't realize he stopped, and we kissed, and it was the most awkward thing that when he told me what was going on. The worst part was that his real boyfriend was standing a few people back from us, saw the whole thing, so we had to explain to him what happened. It was absolutely the most cringy situation I've ever been in, and I ended up moving to the other side of Kinetic in horror because of what happened. Oh my god. And I also don't care if you use my name. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's kind of fucking crazy. I like how that's different too. No one said anything like that, and honestly, that's not your fault. That's kind of on the other guy because he like leaned into it too, so I'm sorry you had to go through that. Here's another one. It says, this is a slightly cringy, goofy moment. The first time I ever went to a festival, I went bright and early to get to the front of main stage. Skrillex was about to play, and I needed to get out for some water and a bathroom break. I decided to walk straight through the crowd instead of exiting easily through the sides. Whew, that's a big mistake. While I was saying excuse me a billion times, while I was squeezing through a never-ending sea of people, one dude helped me out by saying, wouldn't it be easier to exit from the side? And in that moment, I realized I had no common sense. That's it. That's the tweet. That's the email. Aw, I feel for you. Everyone's being so hard on themselves. No, don't feel bad. Definitely walk out the side though. That'll help you out a lot. Ooh, okay, this one is a way longer email and it has 2 stories in it. Okay, this is gonna be good. I'm excited. Okay. It says, hey Emma, first time submitter, long time follower, love the podcast, thank you for all you do for this community. Thanks guys, I love you. It says, okay, story time. I would like to preface this / these stories with this. These were a very long time ago when I was younger and really just wanted to get fucked up, laugh my ass off. I think a lot of us can relate, honestly, you know, we all grow. Since times have changed and now I can appreciate things without getting shit-faced all the time. Heard that. Okay, story 1, short and sweet. My first rave was Life in Color, New York, New Jersey. Yeah, me too. Back in like 2013, I think. It was mine and my rave fam's first. We were going hard in the paint, and I'm pretty sure we were old enough to drink at that point. We also may have partaken in some party favors, so we were all feeling great. The day went great, but I was pretty messed up, and a few of my friends gave me their money to hold because I had a wallet necklace thing I was carrying around. I lost their money and mine. Not really sure how. Also, we were in the crowd dancing and then someone crowd surfed and I didn't see her because I wasn't paying attention. So when this girl comes my way, I actually ended up dropping her. Oh no. She shook it off and I was really sorry. She was really nice about it. She was probably just as fucked up as I was. My friends and I still talk about this incident to the day. Aw. There's nothing you can do. Also, like, if somebody's crowd surfing at a rave, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to hold them up. Actually, I probably would, but anyway, it's like not really your fault. I wouldn't expect that to be happening. All right, story 2. It's actually a story about my husband. My husband, me, and our best friend went to Mysteryland, USA in 2015. Still to this day, it was the best camping festival I've ever been to. Aw, R.I.P. Mysteryland, USA. Everyone says never go too hard the first day, yet somehow we all ended up going way too hard anyway. That's what happened to us, specifically my husband and our friend. That first night that year was just for campers, so we had the whole festival to ourselves. We met some people that we are still friends with to this day. They introduced us to something that we'd never expected. My husband and our friend kind of went balls deep. They ended up tripping hard. I didn't end up doing anything that night, so I was just there to make sure nothing serious happened. Well, I ended up going to sleep early that night. Meanwhile, my husband and friend are at a silent disco, and apparently my husband lost one of his front teeth on my friend's head. Yeah, you read that correctly. My husband smacked his mouth against the back of my friend's head so hard he ended up losing his tooth. Oh my God. My husband had to wear a bandana the entire weekend. Aw, and talked with a weird lisp. It was hilarious and pretty cute. They both came back to the tent after that, but my husband apparently left and was tripping so hard he ended up in the camping parking lot. He said he may or may not have been sleeping next to his car and then ended up asking one of the security guards to call the cops on himself. The guard obviously didn't. The next couple of days he took it easy and he got his front tooth taken care of and he's fine now. Aww, I'm glad he's okay and everything ended up being fine, but that's really nice of you. It's always good to have like someone in the group who's not tripping or like not taking anything, just to like watch out for people. And like, not saying you have to babysit, but sometimes it's a good idea just to like have that. Okay guys, I think we have like 3 or 4 more to go here and then we'll wrap up the episode. Okay, so this one says, I'm from Connecticut and I usually go to New York City or Brooklyn for shows. I wanted to see Benny Benassi at Marquee in New York City, but I didn't want to go alone, so I brought my best friend. We took the train and drank a little bit. I had some lemonade mixed with some vodka. I'm a lightweight, so I know I need to take it easy. We got to Marquee early and get a drink. I was fine, sipping on my drink slow because I didn't want to get drunk because I love Benny Benassi and wanted to be fully aware. My best friend went to the bathroom, and by the time she got back, I was not okay. I felt really drunk even though I only had 1 drink on the train and 1 drink at the club. I was having fun, and then all of a sudden I had to throw up. On my way to the bathroom, I threw up on the floor in front of so many people. I was so embarrassed and immediately went to the bathroom. I continued the night feeling really drunk but not sick. We realized quickly that I was probably drugged because I only had 2 drinks and can normally drink way more before I throw up. Aw, this took a sad turn. I'm really sorry that happened to you. I ended up throwing up again when we were leaving right in front of the bouncers. Made it into the garbage this time. We couldn't even stay in for the full show. I was really embarrassed and sad because I can't remember much of the night and I barely even remember Benny's set. I wouldn't even go back to Marquee until I changed my hair color in fear of people recognizing me as the girl who couldn't handle her liquor. Lesson learned. Always watch your drink and make sure you have a best friend that will take care of you. Aw, I'm sorry. That's definitely not like anything to laugh at. And one, like, I know it's easy to say don't be embarrassed, but couldn't control that. That's probably happened to so many people. I've been to Marquee in New York, guys. It's pretty ratchet, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's a lot of like NYU kids that go there and they get pretty big DJs, really heavily touristy, so I don't like love to go there anymore. And a lot of people have like, this is just a side rant, I just like haven't met the best people. Like, I would say it's like the opposite of Plur vibes there. People pretty much just go there to like get fucked up. I won't go again anymore, but I mean, if you've never been, you can check it out once. I would say it's more like a college crowd or like really touristy. But anyway, so there's nothing you can do there and that's really scary. You gotta be careful. That happened to one of my best friends. So yeah, like you really do have to watch your drinks and aw, I'm sorry that happened. Okay, the next story here says July 2014 at Webster Hall, New York City. Don't remember the artist who was playing. It was nobody important. We went for a free 2-hour open bar. We're pounding Red Bull vodkas because we were all a little tired. Sometime around 1 a.m. I didn't feel like dancing. I was really tired, so I went to sit down on one of the couches on the edge of the dance floor. I sat for a minute and started fading, dozing off. Before I knew it, security picked me up and said, "Come with me." They escort me outside and put huge X's on my hands so I couldn't get let back in. I call my friends and say this is bullshit. They kick me out, come outside. So I made them leave early. They were really pissed. So they finally meet me outside after 30 minutes and we all went to McDonald's around the corner. That's where I fell asleep again. They will never let me live this down. Oh my God, I love this. Wait, I know who sent this email. That's so funny. This is one of my friends. I didn't even realize this was his email. Wait, I'm dying. Sorry, I'm freaking out. I like read the whole thing and then I just read the name at the bottom. I'm like, oh my God, this is one of my good friends. Hell, oh, and he attached a picture. Oh, I love it. That's so fucking amazing. Well, you know what? Shit happens. I'm not surprised. I can't even imagine how many people fall asleep in the club. It happens to the best of us, man. Oh, thank you for sharing. Okay, actually, while we're on people I know, one of my other friends sent me a submission that's anonymous, so I'm gonna read their embarrassing story as well. It's kind of funny when you know the person because I'm like dying picturing all this stuff. Okay. So this person's remaining anonymous. So it says, at Bonnaroo 2015, my friend and I went around the whole weekend starting Bonnaroo chants. Like when I say Bonna, y'all say Roo, Bonna, Roo, Bonna, Roo, Bonna, Roo. That Saturday night, I got so blazed that I started the chant up before a set was starting. So as I started it, I said when I say Bonna, y'all say Roo, Bonna. But then my high-ass brain just completely forgot within a half second that I had started the chant. So everyone does the Roo back, and then I just stood there staring into space. And then I realized everyone was looking at me, waiting for me to do something, and I was so confused. It then clicks back in, hello dumbass, you just started a chant and now it's your turn again. So as it clicks, everyone sees my facial expression, promptly understands what happened, and I say out loud, ah, shit guys, that's my bad. My weed was louder than my chant this time. Everyone burst out laughing. It was all good, but for a moment there I was so embarrassed. That's a pretty good one. I actually really love that story. That's amazing. I feel like everyone probably was just looking at you like, wow, this guy's super fucked up. That's what I would be thinking. Or like have somebody else chime in maybe or something like that. I don't know. That's amazing. Okay, I think we have, I have one more voice memo, guys. Let's play one more voice memo, and then I think that might be it, and we'll wrap up with some EDM news.
All right, Emma, I've got one for you. So EDC Las Vegas 2019 was my first festival, my first EDM experience ever, actually. Day one, I was loving my new outfit, feeling confident, ready to go. We pregame at the hotel, so by the time we get into the Speedway, the whole crew has to pee immediately. Having heard plenty of stories of how nasty the Porta-Potties are, I jump in, quickly pee while hovering, being sure not to touch anything, pull my shirts back up and hop back out. We go on our way and have an amazing first night. Thankfully, I didn't have to pee again the rest of the night until we were leaving, but decided to wait until we got back to the hotel because we wanted to avoid those porta-potties if possible. At about 6 a.m., we finally get back to our hotel. As soon as we walk through the door and into our room, I start getting undressed because your girl has to pee, and at this point, I was exhausted and ready to crash. As soon as I pulled my shorts down, I saw a big shit stain on the inside of my shorts. I almost threw up.
No!
First, I had not taken a crap since I had those shorts on, so it can't be mine.
No!
Second, I went to the porta potty maybe 12 hours prior to this, so I must have gotten on my shorts then and been there the entire first night of ADC. And third, it wasn't just on the inside.
No!
It had even rubbed on the very bottom of the shorts and somewhat onto the outside of the bottom. These shorts were white with sequins all over them, so who knows how many people saw this on my butt and thought I cracked myself. My friends and boyfriends swore they didn't see it, which if they did and didn't tell me, I would have killed them. Needless to say, those shorts were thrown away immediately, even after I only got to wear them one time.
Oh no.
And I spent entire day one of EDC with someone else's shit on my ass of my shorts. So for any newcomers, when people tell you the porta potties are disgusting, they are not exaggerating.
I'm dying. I mean, just wow. That was remarkable. I mean, where do I even begin? That was remarkable. You are remarkable. I freaking love that. That was freaking crazy. You know, burn the shorts is what I have to say. Burn the shorts. That was the most vulnerable you've probably ever been. So thank you so much for sharing that traumatic experience with us. I almost just threw up listening to that. But that is fucking crazy. I'm so sorry that happened to you. This, you know what, guys, we're all in this together. Like I said, we're all in a safe space, sharing our shit stories, you know, just you and me. We're all, you know, no one else is here, no one else is listening. Okay, I mean, guys, I think that was the note we're gonna end on there. I think that is a great place to wrap this up. I hope you loved that as much as I did. I appreciate all of you so much for sharing your stories and for submitting those and letting me share them with other people. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I would love to do like a part 2 to this topic in particular for sure down the line. So like anybody who didn't get to submit one this week, or if I didn't read yours, like I can definitely do another batch of these in the future. So feel free to submit anything for that. I'm gonna take a super quick break here. We'll do EDM news and we're gonna wrap up the episode. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, I just wanted to do one more reminder for 2 of the submissions I'm looking for. 1, listener of the week. So please send me your nominations for somebody you know who listens to the podcast. Again, that's done something positive in the community, done something positive for you, or just deserves a shout out. I don't know. It could also be like, is your friend getting raised this week? Did someone you know just get engaged that listens to the podcast and like you just want to make them feel good and you want to give them a shout out? I'm open to that as well. So email me raveculturecast@gmail.com and put listener of the week in the title so I know that that's what you're emailing about. And also, I'm again looking for submissions for an upcoming episode on how you overcome a bad raving experience or how you overcome like a bad trip at a festival or at an event. Basically just tips and suggestions or stories of like how you turned your night around. I think that'll be a really helpful episode in the future to do. So I'm excited about that. And I think that's all I've got. So let's get into some EDM news. All right, you guys. So I talked about the viral video earlier. That was gonna be a part of my hot takes today. But just a few quick things I saw in the news this week. So Ultra posted that there was so much success with their like Resistance Island that they did last year at the festival, which is basically like where all the techno stage. And they announced that they're gonna sort of, since it's not at Virginia Key Beach anymore, it's going back to where it was originally. They're doing something called the Cove, and it sounds like they're expanding on the Resistance stage and it's gonna have its own cove. I don't know what that means, but that's so intriguing to me. Honestly, I feel like Ultra next year is a possibility for me. I'm just throwing that out there in the world. I don't know for sure, but I've kind of been thinking about going back because I went in 2017 and I had so much fun, and Miami's just such a good time. And I don't know, so let me know if you guys would want me to do that, because I know it's covered a lot like on YouTube and stuff, but at the time that I went, I had just started my channel, so I don't have any vlogs on it on my channel or anything like that. So I'm like, it could be interesting, and it's a really popular one, so I definitely have some tips and advice for people to prepare for that festival. So anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. I think it sounds like it's gonna be a good time. In other news, I saw something really cool that somebody posted. Somebody can confirm if this is true or not, but EDM Maniac shared this on their Instagram account. Somebody posted a picture, I think it was, her name was Rebecca Lynn, of duct tape that was on the bottom of her shoe, and it said at Grizz's show they had this area where you could write a worry you had on a piece of the duct tape, put it on the bottom of your shoe, and then dance the worry away throughout the night, and then when you look at your shoe, the word is gone. I love that. Can we do more of that? That's incredible. All these artists out there who are doing things like this to just spread like positive messages and positive thoughts, I think are incredible. So I'm really, really supportive of that, and I loved seeing that, and I just wanted to share it. I think artists can have more fun and do things like that at their shows. Okay. In other news, I'm really sad to report, this already happened this past week, but Illenium was forced to cancel the Thursday night of his Ascend tour at Red Rocks due to severe weather, which was really upsetting because obviously Red Rocks is an iconic venue. I've still never gone. It's like on the top of my bucket list, and this is Illenium's biggest tour to date, his Ascend tour. It's his new album. He's just grown so much as an artist, and you know, has a huge fan base, a very loyal fan base. So Red Rocks for him, he was playing 3 nights, I believe. Obviously massive deal for an artist. It's like playing a Madison Square Garden, like huge fucking deal. And obviously I'm assuming the weather was really, really horrible. He tweeted about it that like it absolutely broke his heart, but they looked into every single other possibility and there was nothing they could do. I mean, obviously it's an outdoor venue. He said, you know, we have like think it was, we have 4 semi trucks of equipment, we have staffing. There's no way we could move everything there and have people come to the show with the, I guess, the weather that was happening, so they had to cancel it. I felt so bad for him. And he was actually like replying to a couple people back and forth, just chatting with them and just going back and forth. And I understand where people are coming from, because like, you're heartbroken, of course. Like, the other shows are sold out. You can't go to the other shows. You probably, if you flew in or you traveled from further away to go there, like, I would be fucking devastated. But people were saying like, can you do it here? Can you do it here? Like, how are you gonna make this up to your fans? Blah, blah, blah. And obviously he was like, clearly we've exhausted every option. It's sold out. There's no venue that can fit the capacity. Plus, you have to think about it. Like, an artist like Illenium, the amount of effort and work that goes into putting on like the stage design, the lighting, everything that he wants for his show, he's not gonna sacrifice that just to shove into like another venue. It wouldn't be the same performance that he wants to give his fans. So like, while I understand people are like frustrated and trying to throw those options at him, like, clearly I think he did everything he could and like tried to make it happen, but like, your safety is of the utmost importance, and all the staff and himself. So, you know, shit happens. It fucking sucks. You know, I remember Seven Lions missed his Moonrise set. I mean, artists miss sets all the time, right, when they have issues with traveling and stuff like that. So it really sucks. I was super bummed to see that. It broke my heart. I wasn't even going, and I was like, oh fuck, I know how bad that hurts for people. So that was a huge bummer. But he played his other shows. I'm sure they went really well. And you know, guys, one day I will get to Red Rocks. I gotta decide like who I wanna go for. Like, I would have gone for Above and Beyond or like a Seven Lions or 1000%, but we'll see. There's some really good options in the future, so hopefully I'll get there soon. Alrighty, I think I'm done blabbing for enough of this episode, guys, but I hope you enjoyed this so much. I loved reading all of your stories. Thank you again for sharing them and being vulnerable. You know, I feel better. I got some things off my chest, so that's really good. I feel like we talked about poop a lot in this episode, but you know what? We're getting more comfortable with each other. I'm getting more comfortable with you. And, you know, we're one big poopy family. So anyway, hope you guys have an awesome week. Thank you so much for listening. I would absolutely love it if you would screenshot and share your screen, tag me in it on Instagram, on Twitter, send a link to your friends, especially if you were featured this week. Please send this episode to your friends who have never listened to the podcast. I would love it if we could grow our family. That would be really incredible. And thank you guys again for being awesome. And I will be back next Wednesday with a new episode. Peace.